Barbara has received many honors, among them 5 honorary doctorates. And in 2007, Queen Elizabeth honored Barbara with the Order of the British Empire for her services to literacy. It gives me great pleasure to present to Barbara Taylor Bradford her most recent award, the Lizzie. Please give me... This is your prize.
Oh my goodness me. Oh,
isn't it a great picture?
It's a beautiful picture of Liz.
And you.
And me. It's gorgeous. I love it. Thank you.
I'll stand here.
Where should I put it?
I'll hold it.
Thank you. Good evening. Well, now that Peter's told you all about me, he's actually taken my speech. Not really. Who, what, where, when, why? Those were the first words my first news editor said to me many years ago when I entered the newsroom of the Yorkshire Evening Post in Leeds. He had a look of dismay on his face because he didn't really want me in there, but had been forced to listen to the editor who had come from London to revamp a broadsheet into a tabloid and encourage young people to work on the paper. So he was stuck. After a moment, I smiled at him and said, "Yes, I understand." And he looked at me and that dismayed look increased. And I could see him thinking, 16, that's bad enough. But a girl in a newsroom will have to watch our four-letter words. I knew what he was thinking and that I wasn't really very welcome, but I had a little bit of toughness even at 16, and my dream had always been to be a journalist. I said again, "I understand," and he said, "I hope you do," in a very North Country accent. And I looked at him questioningly, and he said, "Because you've got to answer those 5 W's in the first paragraph of your first news story and every news story after that." And I knew this, but I just smiled and disappeared and found a desk and stayed. He wasn't sure I would last. I'm happy to tell you that I did for 2 years as a reporter. And then they made me Woman's Page editor, which was quite unheard of for an 18-year-old girl. I then left at 20 and went to Fleet Street, having had a great training on that provincial newspaper. And I've always remembered those questions. I'm going to use some of them now. Who? Liz Smith. What? The germ of an idea that grew in her head and grew, and she wouldn't let it go. Where? New York City. When? 1974. Why? She wanted to do something to help the 1 million New Yorkers, adults who were illiterate. But she wasn't sure how to do this. She thought of friends, Arnold Scarzy and Parker Ladd, who was in the book business, and pulled them in. They were just 3 people. Then they became 10, and more friends joined in. Before you knew it, it was no longer a group. It was a lot of people which became an organization which found a new name and called itself Literacy Partners. As Peter told you, I joined the group, the organization, with my husband 25 years ago. Over the years, Literacy Partners has done an extraordinary job teaching 33,000 illiterate adult New Yorkers to read. I think that's magnificent, but thank you. I think that's magnificent, but I'm sad to tell you that we still have, in this city, 1 million illiterate adults. As I look out and see all of you, and I was told earlier that we had a packed house and we'd sold out, I wanted to cheer, not only for Literacy Partners, but because we are honoring a journalist, and a renowned and remarkable one at that, Robert Thompson, CEO of, you all know who he is, News Corp. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for saluting him. And also, I want to thank you for helping people to own the power of the written word, because they can now read. And thank you very much again for giving us all this money.